Hi there. In this video we'll be talking about functions. In the last video we'd used while loops, learnt about them, used the different parameters in while loops, etc. This lecture will be about functions. First of all, what is a function? A function helps us in code. Basically, it makes our life much more easier. Instead of repeating the code a lot, we can use a function to save space and save time. Let's get to it. In Python, a function is divided into three parts: a name, a parameter, and a body. So to initialize every function in Python, you have to use the def keyword. So def func name. So this can be any name you want. I'm just going to call it func name. And then the parameter. So let's create a simple function which takes in a person's name and then prints out hello person name. So my name. Alright. Put a colon. Alright. Print hello %s. If you remember, I taught how to use the placeholders in Python. So we're going to use %my name. Click enter. Awesome. Now let's say we had to pass a parameter through. So we just use func name Avinash. Click enter. Hello Avinash. So let me just walk you through what we did. First, we initialized a function using the def key. We gave the function a name, func name, and we added a parameter, my name. We used a colon to signify we're done initializing the function name. After the colon comes the body. This part is the body. In it comes your code which will be run when the function is called. All we're doing is saying print hello %s, and %s is a placeholder for my name. So whatever you pass through here will be printed after hello. Hello Avinash. Now our function can take more than one parameter. So let's create a new function, def full name, in which it'll take two parameters, first name and last name. Let's make the capitals so that we understand. Let's put a colon. Now we're just going to say print hello %s, first name, last name. Then here we do is percent and then in brackets f name l name. Awesome. There we go, simple as that. Now while calling the function, we're gonna have to pass in two parameters. So Avinash and then comma Jane. There we go, click enter. Hello Avinash Jane. Awesome. So we've created our first two running functions. That's great. Now with functions you can do a lot more. You can add for loops, while loops, if and else statements. Functions can be anything. And later on in the course we will be using a lot of functions. You can also return in functions. Let's say that we were trying to make let's do a tax return. So let's create a function, tax return, in which there's 10% tax charged on every item. So it's going to take the cost of the item as its parameter, and it's going to return. So this is where the return keyword comes in. So def tax return, it takes a parameter cost, how much the item costs, and it'll return cost into 11 by 10. Or we can do 1.1. Return cost 1.1. Now you must be wondering what we did. All we did is we took the integer value of cost and we multiplied it by 1.1. Because the tax would be 10%, it's 10% of it. So if you think about it using fractions, we'll get 1.1. Now let's say with a $100 item, we were finding out how much it would be with tax. We'll do tax return. Print tax return, and the parameter will be 100. Do this 110.00001. This came because it was a float floats are those numbers which are decimals. That's why it came with the 0.00001. You can get rid of it using some functions, but I'll teach you those in the next lecture. Awesome. So now we have 3 running functions, which is great. I hope you're getting the hang of it, but functions are great to use and you'll love them. Alright, now let's go into depth of functions and show you what can happen. So let's create a function def add and pass the parameter num1, actually no parameters. And all we're going to say here is we have num1 is equal to 100, num2 is equal to 200, and we're going to say return num1 plus num2. Sorry, num2. Alright. Now, if I tried calling and saying print num1, what do you think is going to happen? It gives me an error. Name num1 is not defined. But you must be saying, but we defined it right here. Why isn't it printing it? Well, the problem here is that we have defined it internally. Internally. So the num1 is equal to 100 is in the function. That means that this variable only exists in the function. If we had declared the variable outside, num1 is equal to 100, num2 is equal to 200, and then def add return num1 plus num2, and then just call the function 300. There we go. So here these two variables are global variables, i.e. these variables are present everywhere. You can call them wherever you want. But those variables which are initialized in the function are only available in the function. You cannot call those variables outside the function. Alright, let's do a quick recap of what we learned. Functions are divided on the basis of 3 things: their name, the parameters, and the body. So to create a function, you use the def keyword, your func name, and then the parameters you want to pass. And then inside, you put a colon first, and then inside the function, you can write whatever code you want. Parameters, or I can say print parameters rock. Doesn't matter. Great. This is our function, and to call it, all we do is func name. Hi. You can pass any parameter you want, and it'll just print parameters rock. Great. We also learned about how to use real-life functions here, and we learned about global and internal variables and functions. Awesome. In the next lecture, we'll be dealing with functions already in Python and how to use them. See you in the next lecture.